How's it going?
Everything good, man.
I know you can barely see me right now. I'm in the car. I just got out of my class.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. I can see, somewhat of a glare of a light on you. So,
Right.
yeah. So what's going on, man?
um, ain't nothing much, man. Feeling good, feeling great.
A-
Another day in
a-
the books.
As you should. So,
Yeah, yeah,
well, you was teaching a class for barbering or just
yeah. Yeah,
something personal?
barbering.
Oh, okay, okay. How long you been doing that?
I've been doing it a little while now. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Good amount of people in there, or still building up?
It's building up. It's probably like 8 or so. But it's building. A lot of people not really trying to be outside and functioning via COVID, but you know, it's all coming to people starting to come out slowly but surely. It's taking a little time.
Trust, I know. I was experiencing that a little bit myself when I was, I had to go back to school and um, everybody was trying to figure out if they can still have like the online where they didn't have to come physically inside the area. And a lot of people wanted to be more at the facility so they could get more, be like, feel like they was connected, getting out of the house, wanted to be more around people. So, you
Yeah,
have your wave of, some people want to just like, I don't want to be around nobody. And you have people that just want to get back to the real world and get everything running. So I get it.
yeah. And it's nothing like being around your folks, man. And learning, and that being on, that video, it gets kind of old real fast.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. And, and it kind of gets you out of what you're trying to do because you at home and you feel like you're more comfortable being at home, but then you feel it's a lot of more distraction when
Yeah.
you're at home. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's you know you got the TV, you got the kids, you got maybe the wife, the girlfriend, so you got so much going on that doesn't keeps you
Right.
away from really homing in and focusing like when you was in the classroom. So yeah, I get it.
Most
Well, I
definitely,
mean,
man.
we got a lot to talk about tonight. It's a pleasure to finally link up with you. I
Likewise,
know we've
brother.
been trying to link up for a minute to get some stuff going, but we
Yeah.
finally here, and we'll definitely talk about what you got coming up. That's going to definitely be a part of what we got going on tonight. But I also want to introduce, some of my people, and definitely maybe some of the people that have been, tuning into you, following your page, checking
Okay.
out the stuff that you've been doing and the information that you're sharing, but really want to home in on how you got started, what made you want to become a barber, where did the passion come from, and a lot of other things we're gonna definitely jump into. But yeah, introduce yourself, introduce your background, and let's get into the history of what brought you to this world that you're really trying to make a mark in, because I see you out there with the motivational videos and everything that you're doing, touching the city. So let's get to it.
Yeah, man. For me, man, it's been a journey, bro. It's been a journey. I originally started out, I was going to school for kinesiology, man, and I was so intrigued by, sports because I played sports. I played, I ran track, I played football, I played basketball. Only thing I didn't play was baseball, which I wish I would have played. But I didn't. But kinesiology was the route for me. Until unfortunately, I ran into some financial hardships at Cal State LA. I didn't have the financial means to continue school. So with that being said, I had to find an alternate route. And the way I found out about it, it was so man disheartening, man, because at this time I had done got my shit together, man. My grades were coming up. I was like an AB student, and playing sports. I didn't really take my grades as serious in the early going, so I've probably been a CB student, but I start surrounding myself with people at Santa Monica College and then Cal State LA, people who were really getting after it when it came to studying. I was always a person that, if I sit in the class, and the teacher goes over X, Y, and Z, I'm going home, and hopefully I remember it the next day and the following day. But the people I began to surround myself with, they were going to the library right after class, and that's how they were able to retain a lot of the information going forward. So I started hanging around those people, man, and it really rubbed off on me, man. So I say that the same as far as with barbering, man. You want to be around the people who are the movers and shakers, or those who are accomplishing things or pushing themselves, or doing things out of the ordinary, man. Because if you follow behind everybody else, man, you'll get lost, man. A lot of times lost in the sauce, because a lot of times, man, people are followers and they're not leaders. But you want to make sure if you're following anyone that you're following a good leader. So with that being said, man, I followed the right ones, man, and it made me get to a point to where, like, wow, I'm an AB student. Who would have thought, right? To the point that I had my GPA was higher than it's ever been, So I put in the effort and I put in the work, and it takes the same, effort, in regards to barbering. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the time, If you want to be great, you got to do great things. If you want to be great, you got to do something you never did before to get something you never had. So, with schooling, that really went from kinesiology on to barbering, man. But, to talk a little bit about barbering, man, and why I went to it, it was unfortunate because my first choice was kinesiology, but even better choice was barbering because I realized, it was no limit in what I could do and how much control I could have in my own career. Meaning, if I was a school teacher or whatnot, I didn't have too much say-so and this and that. But with barbering, it's like, okay, I can finesse my schedule, right? I can come in and, set appointments for days that I want to work, and other days I can spend time with my family, or I can get other errands done. It's more control. And once I realized that, from talking to a lot of the OGs, that shine light on barbering for me, man, it was a no-brainer and one of the best decisions I could have ever made when I made it, But a little brief history about my career, I used to cut my homies here in college. I was going to school in Santa Barbara City College in Santa Barbara, and I was cutting their hair, but I didn't know exactly what I was doing. But I could do a K-Ballas, you know what I mean, an all even, a Caesar, right?
Yeah, right.
And I could put a lineup on it, right? But as far as that, I couldn't do anything else beyond that. I couldn't do the tapers, right? I couldn't do the ball phase, man. And, I was talking to my teacher about this the other day, man. I seen her do something I've never seen, actually create a blend or fade with no guards, right? And I was just like, wow, just blown away by that, man. That's just years on top of years on top of years of just being behind a chair. And not only that, she's an instructor where she actually came to my last event and, just shed so much light, so much knowledge, so much gems, so much jewels to, everybody, and including myself. And I'm just, once I seen her, I didn't even know she was coming to my event. Her name is Miss Mo, and she has a olive branch, man. Like, so many people she done taught, so many people she done trained, including myself. It's just so much knowledge, man. But just seeing her, it made me feel like I was back in barber school, just always had knowledge, just always had gems, in the way she conducted herself. And, when it came to the business aspects, I've always watched those barbers around me, it's something that I can pick up from that barber around me. It might be something he does great, but it might be something that he doesn't do great at all. So I looked at the strengths and weaknesses from the person to my left, and then I turned and looked to the person to my right. The person to my right, he might be an amazing barber. He can cut any texture of hair. He can do anything, but his customer service is shitty, right?
Yeah.
And, the person to the other side, he has his strengths and weaknesses. He might not know how to cut like, my man to the right, but he has good customer service, and he's building relationships with his clients, right? And, the main thing about being a barber, relationships is everything. I don't care what nobody say about, cutting hair. You have to know how to cut hair, but 100%, in my opinion, let's say 75 to 80, 85% is relationships. Yeah, you got to know how to cut hair for sure, but to get those clients coming back to your chair, you're going to have to build a relationship. You're going to have to make that person feel comfortable. You're going to have to, make that person feel like he's getting respect when he's sitting in that chair. You're going to have to be able to say or respond or hold a conversation. You're going to have to be a people person,
Exactly.
when you are a barber. A lot of times you just say, yeah, oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, as you maintain your cut. But at the same time, you got to come back and, fill in some gaps and say some things that make them know that you're paying attention to what they're actually saying. And, a lot of times as barbers, you fill in roles that you didn't necessarily want, but you step into those roles. Like for me, myself, I'm like, I'm teaching the kids, sports, me working in Parks and Rec right here in Los Angeles, and being more like a father figure to these kids who don't have guidance. Let me say, giving them guidance, and more so like a father figure. Even grown men, they come and they talk to you about their issues and their problems, and you give them good advice. We're more than just barbers, man. We wear a lot of hats. People
Yeah,
confide in
definitely.
us, and people trust
Yeah.
us, man, with their livelihood, with their hair. Appearance is
Yeah.
everything, right? And they're trusting us with that.
You almost like you can become a family member
Yeah,
because they see you more, a little bit more than some of the people that they see in their family.
right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and the conversations that you have and the conversations that they share with you, yeah, like you almost like a family
yeah,
member.
man. And a lot of my clientele is people that I rock with. Like, I'll invite that person to my house and cut his hair. But it's very few people that I do that with. But the ones that's been with me and know me and I know them, and the relationship is like that, oh yeah, I'll cut them at my house. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that with everybody, but that's the type of relationship that we do have. Especially with COVID that was upon us, I had to kind of do those type of things, right?
Yes, yeah, I definitely
Because
wanted to. Yeah,
yeah, because the
I
bills
definitely
kept
wanted
coming.
to. Yeah, it never stops.
Exactly. So I had to figure out a way. So those people that were like my brothers or like my sisters, I extended that invitation to them, man.
I want to also speak upon like I noticed, and you could tell me more about it if I'm saying it correctly. I noticed that you do a lot of like work within certain areas of, I guess, your community, like your area, your home area. Is that something that you focus on a lot, where you try to transition yourself? I don't know if you go back and forth, but maybe you do a couple of days, maybe in the barbershop, but more you like to be where outside of that, where you touch the people to the streets and let them know, like, hey, I'm here, and you build relationships that way, and let that like try to build your own community, kind of like networking and like brotherhood or sisterhood within where they see you, like more outside of the actual area where people go to get a haircut as far as the barber, but you're like you want to touch them within the street. Can you tell me more about that? I notice I see a lot of that within your videos.
Man, like I tell people all the time, man, I'm a people person, man. And if you a barber and if you're not telling people what you do, right, and handing out your cards and just making small talk, man, which ends up to a person sitting in your chair, or you building a relationship with a person, man. That's what we do as barbers, and you got to have the gift of gab. So you got to know how to talk to people. You got to be a people person. So what I'm doing every day, all day, I'm letting people know what I do, and I'm just talking people. I'm just talking to people just because, and with that, I build relationships, or with that, I get more familiar with people in my community or at my job, or those people around my jobs, or those people around my community, because I'm a constant beacon of shining and letting people know what I do. And I'm always looking to give back to family, to friends, to my community. It's really who I am. So, my mother was a very caring person. I say that was because she's no longer with us, but very caring person, and I remember vividly as a youngster, she going and doing, numerous things for other people, just very caring. And I can say I got that honest, man. I'm just a very caring person, man. If I can help a person out, whether it's with barbering or just in life, or my client coming and telling me about his issues and he want me to shed light or he want my advice, I'm gonna give him that. Um, that's just who I am, man. I'm a very caring person, man, and I love my people, man. Especially those people who are in my close circle. I love my people, and I'll do anything for them.
So where area was you born or raised, and where do you still reside? Where you still carry like this love and ambition to keep the community together. Where do you do that mostly out of, or are you trying to take it to like multiple areas and make transition where it can be something more than it's a barber. It could still be a barber connection thing, but with barber and showing how you connect and build with everyone, and this is like one of your stepping stones to do that.
Man, let me go back a little bit. Actually, I'm like, COVID taught me to be more free. COVID taught me to be like, I don't necessarily have to be in a barber shop to cut hair. And I say that because a lot of my stuff was either, and still to this day, I'm more mobile than I'm actually in the shop. So with that being said, I'm like, wow, now I got to the point where, dang, man, I don't necessarily have to be in a shop, 8 hours at the day, 9 hours at the day. Like, I feel more free if I'm out in Leimert Park, or if I'm out just at about at my city job working with the kids. If I'm out doing that and I'm cutting hair, so anywhere I go, whether it's my place of work or just on the go with mobile barbering, I'm looking to cut hair. I keep my tools in my trunk. No matter where I go, I keep my tools on me. So if I need to cut hair, I'm gonna cut hair. But to answer your question, I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm not even from LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not even from here, man. But I've been here a number of years to where, I actually now live in Leimert Park. So that's where I'm at. But I'm not even from here, man. But I've been here long enough. Like, now, this is my home. And I do miss home at times, but for right now, I'm here and I'm loving LA. But we'll see what happens down the road. But for right now, this is where business is. This is where my mind is, and this is where my heart is. So this is where I'm at. And as far as me looking to build my brand or take it elsewhere, I go where my mind tells me, and I pray to the Most High that He gives me direction in all things that I do, and I don't force anything. Just like with barbering, you got to have patience with everything that you do, every haircut that you do. You got to have patience. So, with God at the helm, I just do what I can control, and I give the rest to Him.
That's dope. What is it for someone that is checking out these videos and this one right here and is hearing you speak right now, or later on check the full video out and want to take something from this? What would you give someone that's stepping into almost, I could say, similar to our shoes of want to be a barber? What advice would you give them to keep them keep pushing forward? Because there's going to be a lot of things that's be placed in front of them that might stray them away from pursuing this dream of theirs, or the ambition to try to move forward with becoming a barber, but they're trying to figure it out the best way they can. What advice would you, from your experience, what advice would you try to give them?
Um, I would say this first, and then I'm gonna definitely answer your question. I would say a lot of times when it comes to your dreams and the things that you want, a lot of times nobody will see that but you. And a lot of people will try to discourage you and try to get you off the track of doing what it is that you want to do. I would say don't let no one, speak negative on what it is that you want to attain, any goal that you have in mind. And secondly, you got to be consistent. If it's anything that you want to accomplish, you have to be consistent. You have to um, be around it daily, consistently. As far as barbering, if you want to be a great barber, you have to be around it daily. You can't just wake up and say, hey, I want to be a barber. It has to be consistent things. It has to become your lifestyle, right? So, in other words, once it becomes your lifestyle, it's who you are because you eat, sleep, and shit barbering. Like, that's who you are. So in order for you to reap the benefits of what barbering has in store for every person who's hungry enough or who wants it like that, you got to be consistent. It has to become who you are. And when times get tough, because in the early goings it will, don't give up. You know, just keep going to the shop. Get there early, leave late. Get there early, leave late. And also something that I've always done, and I know you're over there with I can't even think of his name. The shop that you're in right now, the owner.
What's one,
Um,
Stevie?
there when I was a youngster. Can you hear me?
It kind of lost signal for a minute, but I can hear you now. Are you
Okay,
talking about
so
Stevie?
yeah, those guys was over there when I first started out, man, and I got much love for those dudes, man. Those dudes, him and the big homie, man, I looked up to those guys, man, because they were torn from a different fabric, man. Those boys was just
Yeah, definitely.
they like the
Yeah,
OGs, man.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, they ain't with the bullshit, man. Like straight up. So I'm from that cloth, man, and I really appreciate those guys, man. Like in the early goings, I was just like, man, how am I gonna get good in this barbering thing, man? And like, you know, it was tough, man, but I really appreciate them. I really appreciate them being stern. I really appreciate them being hard on me and, showing me a little something whenever they could in between time because, man, if a lot of times, man, you won't get that love, man. And
Not at, not at all.
that was really them trying to see how bad I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Putting me through the gauntlet, so to speak, because it was some days I was like, fuck, man, I don't know, man. But I guess what? I kept coming. And in my mind, no matter what happened, because to go back a little bit, I told my uncle I wanted to be a barber once I couldn't pursue kinesiology, and he paid for me to go to barbering school. So I made a promise to him that I was going to graduate and finish. And he told me, no matter what you do,
Yeah,
make sure you finish what you start. And I had that promise to him, so he paid for my school, so I had no choice but to make sure that I fulfill that promise, man. But overall, don't give up. Stay consistent, and when you feel like you're gonna give up, keep going. And find a mentor. You must have a mentor in this barber game, man, because you want to get in touch with someone who's done did it before you did, right? And they know all the, the errors and the traps that you could possibly fall into, man. So you want to avoid that, and you want to cut the time short, right? So find a mentor, and that's something that I pray for. That's why I say when I pray and I put things in the Lord's hand, I pray for a mentor, man. And a mentor, like the mentor doesn't even necessarily have to know he's your mentor for him to be your mentor, right?
exactly. Yeah,
So it's like, my mentor is Jack, man. A guy who I love and adore, man. That's my guy. Just he swooped in at a time where I least expected it and just gave me the basics of barbering and then some. He taught me how to save money. He taught me how to be a professional. He taught me how to be a man even more so. And pretty much treated me like his son, man, and gave me gems that I'll never forget. And I thank that man. And I always, no matter what I do, I always check on him. I always call him. I always have the utmost respect for him. And, if I'm going to do something, I ask him, hey, you need anything to eat or whatever the case may be, or I just bring him something to eat because I'm just very thankful for that man, yo. Because at the time where he came into my life, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to pursue or keep going with barbering, man. But he was that father figure that really, you know, made me know that I can do it. It made me believe in myself, and to not give up. And I'm very thankful for him. Very thankful.
I know you got a big event coming up, and I want you to share a lot of detailed information on this because I know it means a lot to you. Before we jump into that, I know you have a couple of people that tune in and they're checking you out right now and hear you, share your journey, your experience, everything that you putting into this industry of yours. I don't know if you want to shout anybody out or tell them to ask some questions for you. The platform is yours. What it's about, talk that bar.
Right. Let me see if I look.
Yo,
All
yo.
right. Got
Yeah.
a little cut
You
short.
knew you was about to say something dope, and they wanted to cut off on you.
So what I was saying is, I appreciate everyone for tuning in, man. And anyone have any questions about, barbering, about life, about motivation, about anything in general, about barber fitness, or just fitness in general, feel free to ask. I'm here. I'm always here to help. I'm always here to motivate, man, and just push people to be their best selves, man. I do that because you know I know what it is when someone believes in you and someone's pushing you. They're only pushing you because they believe in you. Um, so how can you let that person down, right? Um, so any questions, I'm open to them.
Yeah, definitely. If I see something pop up, I definitely let you know. I'll let you answer, and then I'll answer it myself. But yeah, let's talk. Let's just jump into this event you got coming up this Saturday.
Yes, most definitely. Barrow Gurus presents the holiday give back. We're gonna be giving away free haircuts. We're gonna be giving away raffle turkeys. And as I looked at the list today before I went to class, there's probably like 2 slots left. By the grace of God, He's so amazing. Only
Got
about 2 spots left.
yeah,
And I'm already knowing that as soon as people see free haircuts, that's those 2 spots will be filled up in a matter of seconds. So um, this event is something that I've always wanted to do. I'm always looking to give back. So I said once I got into a position where I can give back, which is something that I've been doing in the latter parts of this year. It started with Tonsor and Tonic where we had an event and we were able to give barber students who I handpicked because I went to schools and I spoke to barber students and to those who I saw that had the dog in them, I picked them and we gave them, X amount of dollars to, you know, uh, help them along their way. Because I always know that when you start early in your barber career, you don't necessarily have the money. So
yeah,
just imagine if you can get the funds and
yeah.
be able to either purchase that book or purchase those clippers you always wanted, but you ain't got the money to get. So that felt good to me doing that. But that was the first event of the year who I partnered up with DC, who's a representative of Andis. Good,
Mhm.
a big homie. He's a good dude. Also Kelly, another good dude, man. Who we all partnered up and we made that happen. And secondly, the second event, which was something that me and my former barber classmate Oscar Lopez, who has his own shop off of Santa Monica Boulevard, we planned to do a look and learn event, which was successful. We had probably I called them probably on November 3rd or 4th. And was like, yo, let's do this event. So we didn't necessarily have a whole month or a month and a half to plan it. It was planned within probably 18 days or so. So, I mean, for it to turn out the way it did, man, and to give you a brief synopsis of how it actually happened, I got on the phone with him. We talked about it, and he's like, all right, well, let's do it. So we did it. And come the day of the event, I remember pulling up. Nobody's in the event at all. It's just me, my friend, Oscar, and actually the videographer. So I left to go get pizza, right? And a little bit before I got back to the facility, his shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, man, Los, we waiting on you, man. Where you at? We got a room full of people. I'm like, man, stop BSing, right? So I get to the door. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm just like, yo. And that moment for me was like, yo, oh my God, God is good, bro, because I was just like stressing, like, man, I don't know if people are going to come. But I do know that the people that signed up via Eventbrite was going to show up. But, for that amount of time that we had, man, I that was definitely a successful event. Again, my barber teacher came in, Miss Mo, and she spoke. We gave away clippers. Miss Mo gave away $100 to a student, so it was really lit. She was also just giving gems left and right. Just a great event. Now, as we move forward for the third event, which is the holiday giveaway, something I always envision myself doing, just giving back to the people. And that's what we're doing, and I look to make it a annual thing where we give back, and I really, really want to thank you, man, for joining us, man. And
that's nothing, man. I mean, I appreciate you even reaching out and letting me know about it and asking me to be a part of it. So, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man. So, Barber Grooves is about, giving back. Barber Grooves is about putting on, not only for the city, but for the people, as far as barbers, and giving them what they need, that whatever that is, that instruction class, that giveaway, it's for the people, and we're just giving what is needed, and that's always Barber Grooves, man. That's my baby, man. This been 5 years in the making. The first event of my own has been 5 years in the making, and people be like, man, what take you so long, man? It's just a lot of things that happen. You get in your own way, and you get discouraged, or you don't believe you can do it, man. But I told myself this year, I said, man, fuck the excuses, and excuse my language, but that's how passionate I became this year once I just realized, like, okay, I'm going to go for it all. I'm going to go for gusto. If anybody F it up, it's going to be me, right? So, like I said, once – it was one thing to do it with Kelly and DC, but, once I got along with Oscar, it was more so me. I pretty much orchestrated all of that, but, he came in and he created his masterpiece by the haircuts that he did on straight curly hair, because that's a lot of the stuff that people have issues with, is straight curly hair. Some people may learn on coarse or curly hair, but some people may not know how to do straight hair. So I wanted to have the both. So, the students, they got to see that, man, and it was amazing. But the last event, man, it's just been, just planning and believing in myself and becoming that leader and knowing I can do anything that I put my mind to, man. And that's why I always tell barbers, man, your mind is very powerful, man, and what you put in it, it's you got to make sure it's positive, because you create your reality, what you're saying and what you're thinking, man. So, you don't want to be around those negative people in the shop. You don't want their bad habits to rub off on you. You want to have great habits, good habits. You want to be a professional. You want to be a good stand-up person. People can see that. People can feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. You know a good guy when you see one. And speaking about Oscar, I'm sorry. This guy, man. Speaking of Oscar, man, the day I went and took my test, because I told you he's my barber homie, we went to school together. This guy let me stay at his house and go up the street to take the test. The next day, it's just like, man, he's just a good dude. He didn't have to do that, but he did it. And it's just like, man, how can I pay you? How can I repay you? Even me saying, man, how can I repay you for letting us use your shop? He's like, nah, man. I'm like, are you serious? So even with him saying that, I know I still got to do something for him, because I really appreciate him. Because without his facility, we wouldn't have been able to hold the event.
Exactly.
So shout out to my boy Oscar, man, Barbershop Lopez. You guys can check him out on his Instagram. Always putting out heat. That's what he does, man. That's my guy. That's my brother from another mother, man. Much love for him, man. For real.
Yeah, I mean, so let people know the time, what time they need to show up, what they need to, maybe expect when they get there,
Yeah. So the event is going to start around 10. It's going to end at 2. So we're going to get set up out there around, well, actually a bit before 10. We're going to be out there. And again, we're going to be giving away free haircuts. We're going to be raffling turkeys. We're going to have our barbers. We're going to have our volunteers on deck. And just to show my appreciation, we're going to definitely feed the barbers because we appreciate them for actually coming out on a Saturday. Not a lot of barbers doing that. But again, to you yourself, man, I appreciate you. And it's a lot of dope barbers who are going to be out there on hand, man, and just opportunities for us to network. I got something set up for you guys. Just give you guys some goodies, man. So just to show my appreciation, man, and it's all love. And I appreciate you guys because, not every barber is going to step away from their money on a Saturday. But I want to say this to all of you barbers, sometimes you got to give back. And, sometimes it's not always just about the money. Once you give back to what giving so much to you, that's how you level up and that's how you become more abundant in what it is that you do. I realize that every barber wants different things. Not every barber wants to host a giveaway or give back. But that's just me. I'm from a different cloth. Just like you might want to do whatever in fashion and bring that to the barbering aspect. I don't know, but that's what you want to do, right? And I have a friend over here who want to do something else. That's just what it is. Not everybody has the same passion, the same dreams. That's just like with everything in barbering. You might be a Baptist guy, I might be an Andis guy. The other person might be a Wall. You just get it in how whatever works for you works for you. You know what I mean? So everybody is different, but I love barbering. I heart barbering. Barbering is who I am. I just love, man, I'll sit and I'll watch people cut hair all day. You know what I'm saying? I'll watch YouTube videos because I'm always looking to learn something from someone else. Just like I tell anybody, a beginner barber, man, I can learn from you. You know what I'm saying? Because I can learn from you from some social media or what have you. You might know how to do something that I don't necessarily know how to do. I know how to cut hair, but I'm not too keen on certain things when it comes to social media or creating certain things. But I had to get to a point, especially creating, the post that I have now. I had to get in the lab and I had to spend time with these things to create this stuff, to create these videos, create these posts.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to get lost, in the sauce or left behind. So you got to stay with the trends and you got to stay and stay true to yourself. So anything that I post, I put a little bit of me into it, and I'm just looking forward to connect with the right people, right, and create an audience that understands what it is that I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and feel the passion that comes with it. So that's pretty much what Barber Grooves is, man. We real barbers over here, and we're professional, and we love what we do, and we're very grateful and thankful for the ability to have these anointed hands, man. And it's just a thing of beauty. So it's not a lot of people that can cut hair. It's not a lot of people that do cut hair. It's not a lot of people that go through the gauntlet and get their barber license. There's a lot of people that do go through and get their license and become a great barber, but it's some that take more steps and they own barbershops or they own a franchise of shops, a number of shops. There's so many things that you can do as a barber, but instead of just standing behind a chair. But standing behind that chair will allow you to go in so many different avenues, right, and feed your family, and feed that inner fire, that inner flame in you when it comes to being a barber. Like, it's just something about cutting hair and just that laughter, that environment in the barbershop that just it's like it's in me, man. When I'm in the barbershop, man, I'm at ease. I'm at peace. You know
Right.
what I mean? That is my sanctuary, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm at ease when I'm there, man. Just me, you know, I worked in Legends Barbershop, man. It was like 17 other barbers in there, including me. So I worked in a big shop.
Yeah.
So it was so much. It was so many, man. It was so many dope barbers that worked on movie scenes or that's in the union. Just like when I first got there, man, it was just like, wow, it's just like everybody's good, you know. And in my early goings in my career, man, I was running from straight hair until I got to Legends Barbershop, and that's all I had the whole time. I was cutting straight hair straight because nothing else was coming through the door for me. So I had to figure that out, and
Yeah.
I had to either sink or swim.
Yep.
And you know, for a minute I was sinking, but you know, I started, you know, finding my way. And once I got uncomfortable, I realized I was growing, you know, and that was the first time I ever did that when I went to Legends Barbershop. One of the best things I ever did. Like I say, I apply a lot of things from barbering to life, and a lot of things from life to barbering, because to me they like this. They go hand in hand.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I am who I am because of barbering. A lot of, you know, my discipline comes from barbering. You know, you got to stay the course. You know, if you can't figure it out the first time, maybe you'll figure it out the third and fourth time. But you stay at it. You don't give up. Like, you know, just now I was in class with a student, man, and I could tell how hungry he is. He asking questions. He right there. Like, I can't even move without him being on my hip. But I know that's hunger.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna entertain that hunger. I'm gonna answer all his questions, right? Because I realized that I was once him, and you got to give back to that. But man, it's some barbers that don't have the time for you, nor are they gonna give you the game. You
Not
know,
at all. Not at all.
it ain't gonna give you
Become
nothing.
a small few that are willing to do that.
Yeah, man. And I was like, I said I'll never be that person, because
Yeah.
that mentor that I prayed for, man, he came in my life for a reason, because I prayed for him. And
And that
without
was
him,
another reason why I created this platform, because I wanted to, really touch bases with a lot of like dope barbers like yourself and a lot of people that I have spoke to already. And this is the information that I wanted to give out. And when I say talk your barbership, pretty much sharing your information of the barber world.
yes,
So yeah, a lot of people like myself, when I first jumped into this idea of being a barber, I really didn't know who to talk to, where to turn, how you know. Yeah, so like now creating this, I hope like someone that was well, like once in my same foot shoes is like looking at this and going, "Damn!" Now I could reach out to Los and hit him up
yeah,
and or whoever having this,
yeah,
because they can feel more comfortable now. Like, okay, he was talking all that talk, so let me hit him up and see if we can connect and really move forward, or he can give me some advice. So
right.
this is what that Talk That Barbershit is about.
Man, this is a great place to, talk that barber shit, man. And again, I thank you for inviting me, man. But, you know, in the early goings, man, like this barber game is cutthroat, bro. Like that's stuff that people don't talk about. It's fucking cutthroat, bro. You know,
Yeah,
I tell the students, I was like, man, this shit's so cold. Like, man, your client will come in, right, and then you got some other folks in there, and you just went to the bathroom, like, oh, he gone for the day. You just went to the bathroom. And, they'll make it seem like, oh,
yeah,
well, yeah, he came to me. Nah, you dirty, bro. Like to me, that's something I never said I would get to. I would never do that, man, because I don't feel like that's clean. I feel like that's dirty, and I feel like that's not, you're not going to succeed for a long time, operating like that. Because what's for you going to always be for you. That client that came for you, guess what? He might have sat in that person's chair that time, but he's going to come right back to you the next time because
yeah,
he thought you were gone. And your loyal clients is going to be your loyal clients, because that relationship that you build with them is really, a lot of times, sometimes, man, it go beyond barbering, man. It's just like they like who you are. They like what you stand for. They like what you, like, if you're a good dude, you're a good dad, you're a good man, you're great at what you do. Like, man, you're like, I had clients, man, that follow me from I started the hair architects. It went with me from hair architects to Legends Barbershop and all the way to Gardena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's some people that will follow you just because of who you are, man.
Exactly.
And it's sometimes it don't got nothing to do with what you do about behind the chair. We in the feel good business, man. If you can make a person feel good and at the same time make them look good,
yeah, right.
And then his wife be like, "Oh, Carlos, you got to make sure you take care of him." Sometimes the wife be calling and making an appointment because she like how you cut his hair.
Yeah.
And long as you got the wifey in the pocket, you know he's gonna always keep coming back. As
Yeah.
long as wifey like it.
I think you're on mute. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, get that father-son combo, man. But again, this game is cutthroat, man. It's like I can't stress that enough, man. It's cutthroat. Like, you know, my experience was this. You know, when you young blood and you wet behind the ears and you're not a threat to nobody,
Right.
you know, everybody can son you. You son
Yeah,
everybody.
right.
But when years go by and they realize the time and the effort that you put in, and they start seeing them fades start to become more blurry, and you know you get more confident because your confidence is everything as a barber. People can feel if you're confident enough in what you're doing. They can feel it. I had an experience one time. An OG came in, an older guy. He was like, "Hey," and he wanted the easiest haircut. He wanted a bald head, but the way I answered to him.
Yeah, his signal got a little choppy, so I'm gonna see if he gonna hit me back to log back in. I'm gonna try to contact him right now. So give us a second.
I'm finally in the house now. I'm not sure what happened.
Everybody,
They ain't liking us
no,
tonight.
I can't hear. I was like, man,
They ain't liking us tonight.
you speaking that barber shit. They don't want to know.
Man, look, they don't they don't want to hear that. But let me finish off. But yeah, man, this game is cutthroat. Like really cutthroat, man. Like, you know, when you wet behind the ears, I'm gonna start back a little bit. You know, when you wet behind the ears and you come in the game and you're not a threat to anyone, it's easy to get shunned or sunned or, you know, people not paying you no attention. But, you know, what I was doing the whole time when I was wet behind the ears, I tell people this all the time. I had a notepad and I was going to the big homie Steve. He'll tell you this. I go stand right beside him. You know, I go stand by the other homie, right? And I stand, man, and I'm taking notes. You know what I mean? And I'm asking questions, man, how you do this? How you do this? How you do this? I wasn't too cool, bro. Like, I was hungry. I was hungry to be the best barber I could possibly be. I was so hungry, man, to the point to where I start making notes. I start taking notes. And especially when I got to Legends Barbershop, because I had to leave here Architects because after a year of me being in the barber game, I realized I was just as good as those who were around me. And they've been cutting longer than me. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. But I knew that
Elevate.
their hunger wasn't set up like my hunger.
Yeah.
And just to add a little to that, it was only commission. And usually when you on commission, it's like you can be on cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not too much pressure. So when I left that situation 1 year in, went behind the ears, and I go to this massive barbershop, and I don't know how to cut straight hair at the time, right? I go to booth rent, and mind you, over there in Melrose, ain't shit cheap. So that was a challenge in itself. So how do I get good at this point? How do I be able to, pay that booth rent? Because it wasn't cheap. I did, and then I left from where I was at, and not all of my clientele went with me.
Exactly.
Like a handful of them went with me, and then everybody else, I'm just like walk-ins. And I was just so amazed at how good the barbers were in that barbershop. Like I seen barbers, like as soon as they get there, they cutting. They might eat and then get back to cutting. It will cut all day. I'm just like, whoa. Like to be able to do that, man. A lot of people be saying they want to get booked until they get booked.
Yeah, right.
And then you got to crank out all those haircuts.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do it. Your back hurt. Your arms hurt. Yeah. That's why barber fitness is so important, because your body is going to have to be able to hold those clippers. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to be able to stand up all those hours. And not everybody built for that. Not everybody built for that, man. I seen some amazing barbers, and I saw some shitty customer service, man. But I seen some amazing barbers, and it's just like, wow, I'm taking little pieces from them. They don't even know it. I'm putting that right in my pocket. I'm writing them notes. Yeah. Oh, I go and ask Barber Dog the Slayer. If you don't know who that is, beast. Bro, everybody in the barbershop was straight beast. So I went from hair architect, where it's like, okay, you had probably one or two dope barbers in there, but I go to Legends, it's game time. Everybody is, amazing. And now, as soon as I get to the shop, I'm not in the front. I'm in the back. I'm in the back of the back. So it's the main stage, and then it's the back of the back. So when I first get there, I'm in the back of the back. Nobody respected me. I'm like, they like, who is it? Because, like, it's cliques in barbershop. It's cliques, bruh. When I tell you it's cliques, it's cliques. And it was a whole clique of like 7 barbers that only fuck with them 7 barbers. And there was this one girl at the time who, she didn't like me, but I didn't know why. But I'm just like, what the hell? But that was what it was. And it was just like, you don't got to like me. I'm going to keep coming here. So I had to find where I can get it in and where I can be under the radar, or I can learn and attain this knowledge and catch up to where they was at. And I had to try to do that as fast as possible. But at first I didn't know how to do it. And I was nervous at first to go and ask people that I didn't necessarily know how to do this or how to do that. Until one day I was just like, man, fuck it. I just started asking the owner, how you do this and how you do that. And then he started showing me. And man, it was at the point where I used to be nervous to come from the back of the back and go in the front where everybody was at. Because it's like, as soon as you walk past all these bars, it's like fucking 13 chairs you got to walk to get to the front or to go out the door. Yeah. So it's like, damn. So I got to go up there, and then everybody looking at you. That's like, what is he? Who is it? Like, is he gonna last long? How long is he gonna be here? Right. So, it was a lot, man. A lot of different personalities, but I respected everybody. Even if they had a nasty attitude, even if they had terrible customer service, I respected it, because I know, to my benefit, I had all these different barbers at my disposal who had so many different styles, so many different techniques, right? And I'm just like, yo, this is heaven for me. So at that particular time, once I'm starting to get a little bit, more acquainted with straight hair, I start to get more confident. And I'm like, man, this place is like everything I could imagine it being. Because I have so many people that I can pick and choose and grab and take information from, whether they knew it or not. You know what I mean? So then I got bold. I started having my notebook, and I'm going and I'm jotting down stuff. Oh, that's what you use with that? Okay, cool. That's the half guard? Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, shears? Okay, shear? Okay, cool. I was so like engulfed and learning, bro, like, I know they probably got tired of me asking me, but I didn't care. I didn't care, bro. I didn't care. I just know I wanted to be great.
Yeah.
I wanted to be my best version of myself. And the only way I could do that was get uncomfortable, and that was what I did. And I thank Goose, who was the owner, or who still is the owner of Legends Barbershop, for giving me a chance. So in order for me to get in, I had to do a barber. I had to do a haircut. And he saw the haircut, and that was my way in. And I thank that man for that, because I learned so much about myself, and I learned so much about, you know, being a barber, being a professional barber, seeing real money, seeing real barbers make real money. And I'll never forget this. When I left Hair Architects, it was a guy who came in and he wanted a haircut. He wanted a mohawk, right? But he also wanted his beard done. Mm-hmm. And at the time, we charging like $23, $25 for a haircut, right, over there. But I'm just like, I cut his hair. He liked it. And I'm just like, let me see something. I charged him $45. And he paid it. And I was like, holy shit. Like, it's like, this shit really true. Like, you can really make this type of money. Yeah. So, like, that alone, I kid you not, bro, that made me know that there's a lot more money that can be made in barbering. And I took that with me to Legends Barbershop. But, long story short, I was supposed to show up for Sunday at Hair Architects, right? Mm-hmm. But I told the guy I might come in because I knew I had that interview at Legends Barbershop to do that haircut. Correct. So the owner at the time, I guess he got pissed, and, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm going to fire you. But little did he know, I had already got the job over there at Legends. And I was just like, I didn't even know how to tell him that I wasn't going to be there no more. So it kind of worked in my favor. And I was really loyal to the owner over there because he gave me my first shot. Yeah. And, you know, but once I realized, like, oh, this spot is not for me. And then I knew that, like, long story short, I always knew that I wanted to be at Legends Barbershop. Like, I kid you not, before I even got to Legends Barbershop, it was a barber who I met down the street from my house. And she worked at this barbershop off of Pico. And she was like, yeah, I'm going over there to Legends Barbershop. I'll get you over there, blah, blah, blah. Man, I never seen that lady in years. The next time I saw her was when I actually got my first day at Legends Barbershop. And she saw me, and you should have seen her face. She was like, holy shit. Like, you really did what you said you was going to do. Like, on God, bro, I said, I'm going to make it to Legends Barbershop. Mm-hmm. And it's funny how things align, man. And this was when I was in barber school. And that's what I mean. Like, barbers will shun you. They won't pay you no attention. They'll tell you they're going to do this and don't do that. And it's like, whatever. But when she saw me, she didn't know what to say. And she like, oh, you made it. But internally, I want to say, what the fuck you thought? Right. You know what I mean? Like, internally, that's what I wanted to say to her. But I had to humble my shit. And I was like, yeah, I made it. Mm-hmm. You know, but I wanted to say in my mind, because I seen her as soon as I came through the door. I'm like, damn, there's so much shit I could have told her. It's so much shit I could have said. But I chose a different route. And I chose the humble route. Even though you left me out there to dry because I didn't have anything to offer you at the time. And that's the thing. When you have nothing to offer, they'll treat you any kind of way, man. But it's value in everybody. It's value in everybody. She just didn't see the value in me. So that's why she didn't give me the gems.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But that was a crazy story, man. Crazy story.
Hey, man, shout out the information again for this weekend. Let people know what's up, what you got going on.
Yeah, man. Barber Gurus presents holiday giveaway. It's going to be from 10 to 2 p.m. We're giving out free haircuts. We're going to raffle off turkeys. We're going to have some amazing barbers like yourself. And we got some other barbers. We got like 4 other barbers coming. We're going to have some goodies for the barbers. We're going to feed the barbers. We're going to take care of the people. And it's going to be some of those who are fortunate enough to get the turkeys. We got the baggies made up now, but you know, we'll present those when the time comes. But
For sure.
yeah, we just looking to give to the people, man, and we ain't expecting nothing in return, man. We just doing good things, man. When you
I,
do
I just
good
want
things
to
happen.
bring me aboard. This means a lot. I like stuff like this. This has always been in my nature to, do stuff for the community and give back. So to be a part of your event, I'm looking forward. I'm gonna be there early. Gonna get cracked. I'm gonna enjoy myself. So,
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to meeting you, man, in person, man. And again, just thank you for taking time out on your busy Saturday, man, to come function with us, man. It's I really appreciate it.
hey, like I tell you, it's that Barber United. So we're gonna keep
Come
this.
on now.
All right, man. But once again, thank you for jumping aboard. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
I'll see you this weekend. Let's keep it
All
pushing.
right. All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too, man.